Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. I'm sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Amanda, who is a family nurse practitioner. We spoke to Amanda back in episode 16, where we talked about strategies on how to systemize her functional medicine practice as she was making $40,000 a month and was growing very fast. Today, she's bringing in over $80,000 a month and continues to grow. We wanted to chat to get some updates on how the business is going and talk on how she has doubled her income in the last year. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for having me on, Justin.
Yeah, thanks for reaching back out to me. We've only had a couple of these kind of follow-up episodes, so it's good to just chat and kind of see how you're doing. And it sounds like you're doing pretty awesome. So bring us up to speed with where you're at since the last time we talked about a year ago. So.
Right. So a year ago, we had just moved into our new building. We were just launching our aesthetics, both injectables and facial peels, all of that. So I was super busy just getting all of that. And that is a whole part of this clinic that I knew nothing about. So my partner does all the aesthetics, but nonetheless, as the provider, I still have to know it. So I was really busy and just trying to learn all that. I was having a lot of meetings. So you and I talked about how to prioritize my time. And one of the things I was doing then is I had planned to take Medicare because I live on an island where most population is over 65. So, and you were like, are you insane? Don't do that. and you were right. Yeah. And so I was spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to get set up with Medicare, and I stopped doing that and so I don't take any insurance at all. This is all cash pay. People have no problem at all because they're so happy that I spend the time with them. And one of the other things that you and I talked about was figuring out, where to spend my time. So I do a lot of things now. So we have an IV suite. We can do 6 IVs at a time. Of course, all the aesthetics. And I do a lot of weight loss. So I have a full-time nurse that does all the procedures. So she does my hormone implants, all my shots, all of that. So now all I do is talk with patients. I don't do any procedures, which takes a lot of time off my schedule. So that's nice. Let's see, what else have I done? And of course, IVs, she sets them up. They're in the room. I just do the initial consult with them. So none of that takes very much time, and they're all here generating income. So that's really nice.
Nice. Okay. So you're not, because I know the problem that we were talking about, I know you're working a lot in your business and not on your business. So it sounds like you've really worked on your business this past year, a lot, it sounds like.
Yes. I have definitely worked on fine tuning my charting, just my systems. I now have a buffer between each patient so I can chart on them, because what I would do is I'd see all the patients, and then I would be here till 9 or 10 charting. And then I'm trying to remember why did I write a squiggly line and a smiley face? What did that mean? So,
Right.
So now I chart after each patient, and it's a lot smoother. And, everybody knows their roles now, of course, and that makes it tremendously easier because I have a CNA that checks patients in, does their vitals, all of that. And so this is a really new role for her and, just the learning curve. So we're in a great place. So we are about to move again. In the next 6 months, we're going to move into a much bigger facility. I'm bringing on
Nice.
I know, I'm so excited. So I'm bringing on a chiropractor, a masseuse, a Reiki provider, and I'm looking for another NP because I really am maxed out. I'm booked out 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks at any given time, and that's too long. I
My
don't want.
goodness.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you you're the only provider there right now
Yes. Yes.
still? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. And you have that RN doing a lot of the aesthetic stuff for you?
Yeah. All the aesthetics and then just the hands-on with the patients. And so
Gotcha. And they're
yeah,
doing the IVs for you as well, I'm assuming.
yeah, she does everything that involves actually touching patients.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, your next move here is it's a big move. Yeah. I mean, you're going to hire another nurse practitioner, a new office, chiropractor, so you're going to have two higher level, individuals there, professionals there, therapists, whatever else it is. I mean, yeah, you're going to the next stage. I mean, you're like going to the next level, really. I mean, I think this $80,000 a month is going to turn into 150 probably in 6 months.
I
Like,
think so too. It's amazing. So we just hired a consultant to help us grow smart because, the reality is I just can't take the time to like go find new space, to negotiate that space. All of that kind of stuff takes time away from what I'm doing.
gotcha.
So, and it's not cheap to have a consultant, but I think like always, you get what you pay for. So I'm really excited. And she's got some really innovative ideas like with our IVs. So there's big shipyards here. So she's going to go to those companies, talk to them about doing like wellness purchasing where they would buy bulk IVs. And then she's like, you hire another nurse to just do IVs all day long. And she's like, because that's essentially passive income for you. And, that's a great idea. So I think, having an extra set of eyes to look at things in a different way is a great thing.
So this isn't really a consultant then. It's someone who's actually like, foot on the ground, like doing stuff for you.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I got you. Interesting. Yeah. So they're just not giving you advice. They're actually going out and like working for you, actually doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
she
Interesting.
really does. Yeah, and she's going to plan events. She's working on our marketing. So, we have a
Gotcha.
marketing person. We have all kinds of stuff. And so
Yeah.
she works with each of the, I have a coach for my employees. Just I do not like dealing with employee issues. And
Sure.
so it is my big weak point. I just want everybody to come to work and go to work.
Right.
And
Right.
so, so I hired a coach some time ago. And then whenever there's issues, I sit down with her and I'm like, okay, I need this to be better. And then she works with them on process improvement. So Kimberly is our consultant and she's worked with all these people to then, like you said, take us to the next level.
Right. Right. Do you have an office manager?
No.
No. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, if you had like some sort of person that was in a management position, they should be able to do all that for you. In terms of the employee stuff, I agree with you. I hate dealing with employee drama and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drives you insane. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it sounds like you really harness the power of delegating work to others. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
yeah, that's seriously one of the most important things about systemizing a business and taking it to the next level. You have to learn how to, put the responsibility and tasks in other people's hands. And I know that you weren't doing a whole lot of that a year ago. So I applaud you. Congratulations. Like you're doing the
Oh,
perfect thing right now.
well, thank you. It is hard. I think as nurses, we are so used to doing everything ourselves. And I was an ICU nurse, so I was really used to doing everything myself. And I felt that way. And, from our conversation, because you were like, why are you the one that's finding, your vitamins for your IVs? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I never thought about somebody else doing it.
Right. You shouldn't be ordering supplies and meds in your practice at this level. Like you just shouldn't. Like it's okay at first. That's fine. Like that's kind of part of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you kind of do everything when you start one of these little side hustles. But once you start making $40,000 a month, it's probably time to start having some other people do some stuff for you. So I'm glad you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I ordered some supplies from, for my practices. I couldn't tell you the last time. It's been years. So yeah, cool. So I guess how many employees do you have now?
5.
5. Okay. And those are a CNA, an RN, and what else?
I have an esthetician. I have a Saturday receptionist who does like a couple of different things. So we have our marketer. She's not really an employee, but she is here. And then I have a partner as well, who's another RN. She's in Colorado though, so she is not like on the ground anymore here, but she does a lot of our like policies and procedures. She's really good at that kind of stuff.
I got you. Okay. So how many of these are contractors versus W-2 employees?
Just our marketing person. Oh, our esthetician is as well. So yeah,
1099 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How has that been juggling that? I know when I started hiring some W-2 employees and you see those employment taxes coming out of your account, it really becomes infuriating. How did you handle that?
Oh, it makes me crazy. It
Right.
does. I look at all the taxes we pay and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And one thing is I've always been very transparent. And so I am like that with my employees and I show them, I do give them raises. I think we pay really well, and then they'll talk about different things. I'm like, let me show you like how much our payroll is because of taxes. So it's not like I'm just taking all this money, because we reinvest everything back in. Oh, I did finally start paying myself. So that was exciting too.
I would hope so. At $80,000 a month, hell.
And we also took your advice. I read it in a column about turning into an S corporation.
Yep.
And so yeah, that was a really good
Perfect.
move, I think, for us. And yeah, and it's nice to actually get a paycheck now. So
Yeah,
I
right.
appreciate
Like,
that advice.
like it's nice, right? It's like nice having that paycheck every other Friday from your business. Like it's just kind of like goes in your personal account. You're like, cool. Like you pay taxes on it. Like it's a paycheck,
Yeah.
Right. So that way you're not juggling taxes at the end of the year. You're like you are still paying into it throughout the year. But as an S corporation, though, I'm assuming you're paying yourself the minimum amount that that you can get away with, so you can take out the rest free of the employment taxes, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, the average pay for nurse practitioners, unfortunately, is 45 to $50 an hour. So, well, you know what? That's how much I pay myself.
Me too. Yep.
Right. It's just an average, right? Like, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So you're making $80,000 a month revenue. If you don't mind, I'm just curious, like how much are you paying yourself, a month? I'm just kind of getting a good understanding of how much you're paying yourself and what profit distributions kind of look like with, at this kind of income level. Cause I mean, you're close to $1 million a year now. So,
So Caitlin takes $3,000 a month out of the business because, like I said, she works in Colorado doing aesthetics. And then I take 8,000 in salary.
nice.
Yeah, and then the rest of it we're really just putting back into the
Putting
business.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, we continue to grow our aesthetics. We're adding service lines to that all the time. So
I got you.
it's expensive. Yeah, they cost a lot.
The $8,000 a month that you're paying yourself, is that before taxes or after?
Before.
Before taxes. Okay, gotcha. So you're bringing home like $5,500, $6,000, something like that.
Yep, right around that.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about this investing back in the business, because I think this is a very important concept that a lot of people don't understand. Like they don't understand what that means. And so, investing back in the business is essentially the money comes in, and if you spend it on your business, it's tax free. So you don't have to pay taxes on that income, right? So you can either do one of two things with that money coming in your business. You can either pay yourself, get hit on the employment taxes, income taxes, that kind of stuff, or you can reinvest it back in your business for it to grow. And so by doing that, your business basically, you're putting money into it. It's an investment essentially. And so it grows and it allows your business to get, become to the next level. And so those kinds of things are equipment, hiring people, marketing, new locations, those sorts of things. So what are some things that you have been doing in terms of investing back in your business to see it grow?
Oh, well, over the last year, mainly it's been aesthetics because most of my side of the business is, I'm talking to people. So I already paid for all that with my education. So
Sure.
Yeah, buying Botox, buying filler. We do stem cell therapy. So buying all the equipment for that, buying all of the things for facials and peels, all of that equipment is shockingly expensive. But, and then we look at different things like, should we go into like CO2, which is outrageously expensive. Just looking at these different things, but mainly it's bringing in these other product lines. And then just, as the clinic grows, having it look different. So we bought all new lobby furniture. We try to not spend a lot of money on things that are not going to generate revenue.
Right.
But there is, we are the only med spa in town. And so it's a really high income area. And so we want people, when they come in, we want them to feel like it's a luxurious place. So you've got to spend some money to get that feeling, obviously.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, that might not, pay you income directly, but it
Right.
it kind of does though, because
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's you're in a high end area. You can't be in some shithole.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like right, it has to be nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and when we started, there was furniture here, and so we just kind of used that, and we had a few decorations, and over the last year, our lobby is stunning, I think now. And yeah, of course that does cost money, but again, it is appearance because, we don't charge $8 a unit for Botox. We're not that kind of place. And so we do have to have that. But, we're mindful as well. Like in our own offices, it's not crazy. And I sit on a bouncy ball. We're not like spending
sure.
$800 for office chairs. So that was the big priority that Caitlin and I had was we try to pay the minimum amount of interest. So when we do borrow money, we're paying it back as quickly as possible. And now we're really to the point where we don't have to do that. And everything we buy, we're really looking at, is this going to generate income?
Yeah.
How much marketing are we going to have to do to educate people that they want this product?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. No, that line of thinking, I was actually going to bring that up. Like, that's the kind of line of thinking that you need to really grow a successful business. Like, if I spend this money, what will be the return? Like, how is this going to generate more income in my business? If it's not going to generate income in your business, then you really need to look at it and ask yourself, is this something that's truly necessary, or am I just blowing my money? You know?
Right. Is it something we want instead of something that is actually going to serve what people want to have?
Exactly. Right. Like I always bring up the example of, a big giant saltwater aquarium in your lobby. Like that
Mhm.
shit's expensive. Like, you know,
And it's an ongoing expense because you got to pay somebody every month to take care of those things. Yeah.
right,
We don't
exactly.
have
Like,
that.
okay. Yeah. I remember I went to a neurosurgeon one time for my back and he had this huge saltwater aquarium. I was like, that thing has got to cost thousands of dollars a month to maintain. Like, my goodness. Okay. So, what have you found to be one of the highest returns on investment in terms of the investments back into your business? Like, what have you found that, I spend money on this, I get 2x in return or 3x in return or whatever? Like, what is it that you
Oh,
found that's
semaglutide.
semaglutide? Yeah.
Hands down. Yeah, semaglutide for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a very robust weight loss program. And part of that is so when I was in nursing school, I also owned a trucking company and I was super stressed out. So by the time I graduated, I was about 287 pounds. And so I've done a lot of work, and I'm thin again now. And so I really appreciate what these people are going through. So I really devised this program where they should not have to lose weight again. So I do a lot of behavioral counseling with them, a lot of, really getting into the nooks and crannies of what are they eating? How are they exercising? Why are they eating what they're eating so that they're successful? And I've had a lot of, 120, 130-pound loss, which is really gratifying and good for them. And then, of course, they go out and tell other people. So, and the markup on semaglutide, of course, is astronomical. And I'm fairly reasonable with it. There's places in Washington that are charging like $1,000 for this.
Oh, I
I
know.
know.
Just absolutely price gouging people.
Yeah, and I don't do that. I mark it up. I generally 2.5 times is what I mark everything up. And that covers everything, makes us nice money, and and then we're still helping people, and so I
Right.
feel good about that.
Yeah, like you don't have to charge. I mean, those places that charge $1,000 or whatever for a 30-day supply of semaglutide. I mean, that is just it's highway robbery. I mean, it's
It's
completely unethical.
I think so too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can charge $350 for it and still make a good profit. Like, and it's
Yeah,
reasonable.
yeah, it is reasonable. And joint injections, I have the same philosophy with that. It does not cost anywhere in the ballpark of $5,000, but that's what people charge. So when I do joint injections, I charge $1,000, which is still a really hefty profit.
Right. You're
Uh,
still 2xing your money.
Yeah. So, and that's great. And, and I've tried to really move into areas that are very minimally time taking. So the
Yes.
things that I have to do myself, obviously I do joint injections myself, but that takes me 5 minutes. Trisha's able to draw their blood, spin it down, give me the cells, and then I inject. So it doesn't take very long.
Yeah. All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
I've got some things that I do, like it's kind of my passion. Like I do a lot of gut health. That is very time consuming and not super profitable, but I feel like it's incredibly important for people's health. So I balance everything out with like, okay, I do this one thing that's almost like a charity, but on the other hand, it's really good for people.
Sure. Yeah. So let's talk about that. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned it. So the time investment you put into, your business, if I put this time into this service, what's the return on that time investment as well? Like you can't just look at money in terms of investment, return on investment. You can't just look at that. You can't say, this is going to cost me $100 and I make $300 off of it. That might be true, but how much time does it take for you to put into that to make that return, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah. And so, I wrote an article on the Elite NP website titled Most Profitable Niche Practices, and I rank them. And it's not based off of just profitability. It's based off the profitability of the money and time you have to put into it. And so, in my opinion, weight loss and HRT have one of the highest returns on investment from a monetary standpoint and time investment standpoint. Would you tend to agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't even think about like our BHRT because it's just something we do all the time. But yeah, that is very profitable. And you're right. I went to a course, learned how to do it. It's not complicated. It's just sometimes the issues that people come with, fine tuning, the dosing, that's a little bit of an art. But the initial upfront time and money was not horrendous.
It's not, no. And like the semaglutide, for example, like, you're making a $200 profit a month off of this. And how much time do you spend with each patient once they get dialed in after a couple of months? 10 minutes? Like you don't have to spend that much time once they get dialed in, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So at first
Right.
they see me every 2 weeks, but then once they're losing weight, they figured out how to eat, consciously. Then I see them once a month, and if they start slipping back, then we go back to 2 weeks. But generally they're on one time a month they see me.
Right.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Right. Exactly. Like IV infusion. I'm glad that you outsource it to an RN because IV infusion is very time consuming, very laborsome, and the return on investment is not that high compared to other services. So, I mean, if you were sitting there starting the IVs and managing all that, you'd have no time to do anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we're even looking at making that easier. Right now, we're mixing all the bags and like with each individual, and a Myers has, I think, 8 things in it. It's time consuming. So we're looking at a company that pre-mixes the vast majority of it. So like all your, calcium, magnesium, all of that stuff is in one bottle, bees are in one bottle. So you're only drawing from like 3 bottles to make a bag. And so, just trying to make things a little bit easier so that we can increase that turnover in that room. But I mean, as a line item expense, you do make a fair amount of money on IVs. But
No, you do.
yeah, that's the thing is like educating people why they want IVs. That is time consuming, and we've spent a fair amount of money doing that.
Yeah. So you're prioritizing your time based off of income now, it sounds like. So what are some next steps for you? I mean, I know that you said you're bringing in a chiropractor and going to a new office and this sort of thing. So what are your kind of your plans here? I mean, thinking from that prioritization standpoint, that mental state of what's going to bring in income for us, make my life a little bit more easier so I can get back, my own time. So what are the next steps?
Well, yeah. So exactly what you just said, bringing in other providers. I do want to, I'm 55, so I don't want to be working for the next 20 years.
Sure.
So yeah, I do want to start stepping back. I want to teach people. It's very important to me that we retain this. Oh gosh, I don't quite know how to say it. The one thing I hear from my patients over and over again is they just really appreciate the fact that I'm listening to them and that I take time to hear them, because all my appointments are either an hour or 30 minutes, because I do want them to be heard. And, so often people tell me that, like I've done all these great things for them. And truthfully, I just listened to them, and so I never want to lose that. I never want to turn into where we're seeing patients for 10 or 15 minutes and they're rushed. And, so being able to grow but still maintain that is really important to me. Our long-term goal, so 3 to 5 years, we want to build a destination med spa that's just astounding, and so that's what we're working towards. I want to bring in all of the kind of aligned providers. I want to have a midwife. I want to have somebody that, an herbologist, because we live in an area where you can go and pick your mushrooms, pick all the things out in the woods. And so I want to have classes on things like that. Just a place where people can go to get all of the therapies that actually make your life feel better. And, of course, by that point, I don't really plan on seeing patients. I would want to get that going and then, go somewhere warm in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah. Two excellent points right there. You're delivering significant value to people and they pay you for it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the other areas that I've started to spend time, so I'm on the board of the Chamber of Commerce here, and I've started to get involved more with civic things, because I feel like that's really important for me as a person, but then also for other people to see me out doing things, that it's not just, I'm only here worried about my business, that, I'm out in the community as a whole, helping other people do other things. I think that that's a really good use of my time, although that's one of those things that doesn't really make me money, but
it's fulfilling though. You enjoy doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And the other point was, you're building passive income here. You're having other people, run your business for you, so you can sit back and collect while, managing it, being the CEO of it. And then you can spend your time, like I said, doing those things,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think in the next few years, I think that's completely realistic. You got a plan. You're generating pretty healthy income here. I think this is going to be some multi-million-dollar practice in a few years. You're following the trajectory of a normal growth of a business that reinvests back into itself. So two things happen with a business. You either just kind of say, hey, I'm cool with where I'm at. I don't really care about growing it anymore. I'm content, right? So like right now, if you decided, I'm kind of cool where we're at, I don't want to do anything else, you could probably maintain this, get up to about $100,000 a month and just sit back easily. You stop reinvesting in the business and you start taking the money out, right? But by reinvesting it, what happens is you get a doubling almost of the income on a yearly basis. And so you're already seeing that. You're at $40,000 last year. You're at $80,000 now. By next year, if you continue doing exactly what you're doing by investing money back into it and grinding hard, you'll be over $150,000 a month. Then a year after that, you should be $250,000, $300,000. Like, as long as you keep doing that, you will get to a point where it just continues to double. And then you either have to say, okay, I'm cool with where we're at. This thing's generating $3 or $4 million a year in revenue, or I want more. And that's when you open the other location up. And then you just continue reinvesting it. Like, that's how you just create a vertical business where it just continues to grow. So keep this in mind as you're going through this, because you're already on that trajectory path. So if you're doing exactly what you're doing now, your income will double within a year. I guarantee it will.
Well, I am excited for that. Thank you.
I bet you are. Yeah. Like, when does a man just say, okay, I'm cool with where we're at? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know you said you're 55 years old, so you probably want to start living some life, I'm sure too. So
yeah, absolutely. You do, if things change, it's later than you think, right? And so I keep that in mind all the time. I was going to go back and do the board certification for IFM. And I just started looking at time. I'm like, 3 more years of school. I'm like, and it's not that I don't want the knowledge. I'm like, but I can take workshops with IFM. I can keep learning without doing a structured program. And then I can spend those 3 years doing something else. So I think for me, it's not really a money thing that I would be looking at saying, okay, now I'm done. It's really that, I really want to see us expand. I really want to see that med spa. I can walk through it in my mind right now.
Yeah.
And then, we have talked about putting locations, one in Colorado, maybe one in Las Vegas. I would like to see that. I think when we get to that point and, really somebody else is running the day-to-day operations of, this business, then that's when I could probably step away and be like, okay, I'll check in.
You're going to be a busy girl for the next 4 or 5 years if you want that to happen. But I think that, I think you'll be able to, though. And probably what will happen is, if you do that and you expand to multiple locations by just reinvesting back in the business and doing exactly what you're doing, you could package this up and sell it if you wanted to, and then be a retired multimillionaire.
I think so too. And, I'm super fortunate. Caitlin and I have an amazing team. Everybody's really excited about what we're doing and very passionate about it. So in that, we are just really lucky. We haven't hired anybody that we're just dragging along or they're just showing up for the paycheck. And so that's exciting. Everybody wants to grow with us. And,
Perfect.
I think that's a huge help.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And make sure that you reimburse them for that. Like,
oh, yeah.
I try to pay my employees very, very well because they are helping me grow, and so I try to reimburse them for their time. So yeah, just make sure that you give them a little piece of the pie.
Oh, absolutely. It's important. I always want them to know how much I value them. And so I do try to tell them that all the time. We do a lot of really fun things with them. We went to Drag Queen Bingo last night. And, of course, the company always pays for that. We just do a lot of different things as well as, we try to pay them well for, this area that we live in. That's kind of difficult because it is just so expensive, but that's life.
That's life. All right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I think you wanted to do a shout out or something to someone. I remember you mentioned that before we hopped on the call. You want to go ahead and do that?
Yes, absolutely. So Carrie Jones, stop being afraid. Get out there and you can come and learn with me, or we could do something amazing in Las Vegas, but stop clinging to security because it's not really there. It's an illusion.
That's exactly right. There is absolutely no security with being employed. There's not. It's an illusion. It's what the elite want you to think. Like, here's your insurance, here's your cozy 401k, here's your salary, but we can take it all away whenever we want. Like, it's not secure.
No, not at all. Nope.
Not at all. Right. Starting your own business is far more secure than being employed by someone else. It just is.
It really is because you make all the choices. It is up to me if I succeed or fail. Nobody else gets to choose that.
100%. I had that fear myself before I, finally left the urgent care that I was working at. And, that was over a year ago now. And it's just like, what the hell was I so scared of? Like, I'm making more money now. Like,
I know. Look at you. You're an empire yourself.
Like, yeah, I'm more secure now than what I was before. Like, and so same thing with you too. Like, within the next year, you're going to be just more secure than you could ever be being employed by someone else.
Absolutely. And doing something I love,
And doing something that you like. Exactly. Right. Well, listen, I appreciate the call. I like to end the episodes with you asking me a question. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, what is next for you?
I really don't. I get asked this sometimes and the answer changes, time to time. But for me is, I'm trying to systemize all my businesses, doing the exact same thing that you're doing. And, getting to the point where I can just step away from a lot of it. So I can just enjoy my time with my newborn son, my family, get in the RV and just go drive around for 2 months if we want to. That's kind of where I'm wanting to move to. And I think that the next year I should be able to make that happen. And I said, it's just doing the exact same things that you're doing, investing back in your business, delegating work to others, systemizing stuff. That's how you do it. So.
Well, awesome. Well, I hope you get to do that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. This is a great episode. Listen, holler back at me next year if you want to do, a third follow-up. So that way we can hear about, how you've, built $1 million practice.
I absolutely will. And maybe I'll take you on a video tour of our new facility.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool. Awesome. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye. All right. I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Amanda. Amanda is killing it. All right. She started, it was about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and she almost has $1 million practice at this point. She's doing everything right. She followed the advice in the courses. She follows the advice in the podcast, the articles. She's reinvesting money back into her business. She's delegating tasks to others. She's focusing on income generating activities. That's what you have to ask yourself if you truly want a profitable business. Anytime you spend money in your business on something, ask yourself, is this going to generate income? If it's not, ask yourself, do I truly need this? And most of the time, you don't. So don't get shiny object syndrome with certain things, all right? Ask yourself those questions. And then also, you got to be okay with delegating work to others. Okay, there's no way you can truly grow a robust practice without having someone to help you, right? You just can't. And you got to be reinvesting money back in your business on a regular basis, all right? If you do those things, you will have a practice like Amanda's and myself. You know, a practice that generates high income with less time from you, okay? It doesn't require as much time from you to get the thing going and to operate on a daily basis. All right, hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks, bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.